suppose I better go through my bags and make sure I've got all the stuff I'm going to need for this. Yes, we are. We're on Layton Lake, my favorite map. Not a very big fan of Hirschfeld. I will say this though, Siberia looks really, really good. Sorry, just taking a second to get everything adjusted. Alright, well, I think that's it. I think I'm all set. Got my coffee, my dinosaur mug. I've got you two sitting here. And with any luck, more people will filter in. I was going to start this episode out with a discussion on choice between ammunition, where to place your shot, and also angle of shot, but I might wait a little bit on that just till more people come in. I mean, unless you guys want me to go over it with you. I get a feeling that Dylan is probably pretty well acquainted with the topics at hand. Dag nabbit, good evening. So what I may end up doing is, if you guys have questions, feel free to holler them out in chat. I'll answer them for you. Otherwise, I'm going to go through what I would consider a normal hunt for me in the area. Just kind of, I'll go through a hunt and why I pick, what I do, the shots I take, kind of, you know, just things like that. Just give people a general base of information on how to play the game. But if you guys have questions, by all means, ask them, and I will answer them to the best of my abilities. I'm not going to need some of these collars, since I'm not going to be going after elk or black bear. Well, no, I can go after black bear, I guess. So if I'm going to do that, I'll bring my 270, which I do not have soft points for, so I'm going to have to get that. Yeah, sure thing, man. I mean, I can bring it along with me. I'm not really going to, at first I'm not going to be shooting anything that's going to need it. I guess I could actually bring that along instead of the 270 for black bear, because you get 100% integrity bonus on black bear with the 7mm. So I got that. I got the polymer tip. Not really going to need the elk collar, so let's just use these three. Go in here, get some ammo, get some soft points. Should be plenty now. Did I not oh, you know what? I bought it, but it's just in my backpack. Or is it? Did I not buy it? You guys saw me buy that, right? Frank, it just unlocked the 7mm. Should I go for the Regent or Express version? Any difference? Do you mean the Regent is a reskin of the regular 7mm? The only way to get that, if I remember correctly, was through buying the physical in-store copy of the game, which I never even saw it in store, so I don't even know how many of them they actually sold. I wish I had the gun though, because it's a beautiful skin. Otherwise, it's just a reskin. 7mm is a good gun though. I usually, if I'm going to run with rifles, I'm going to run with two guns. I'm going to run with the 243, and I'm going to run with the 7mm. And the reason for that is, and I've gone over this in stream a lot of times, but it bears repeating. The 243 is going to give you 100% integrity bonus on everything in the game, with the exception of red fox. I don't go hunting for red fox. Ever. Yeah, I mean, if one walks in front of me, I'll shoot it, but I'll be damned if I actually go out and hunt them. But it will give you 100% integrity bonus on blacktail and whitetail deer, black bear, boar, technically everything all the way up to bison if you can get a good spine shot on it. That being said, elk, red deer, moose, and bison are a little big for the 243. So that's why I bring along the 7mm, because the 7mm is going to give me enough power to take those animals down, but it still gives me 100% integrity bonus on bear, which it's a little overpowered for bear, but just simply the fact that it gives you 100% integrity bonus on bear, that works for me. Now, people ask me, why don't you use the 270 instead of the 243? Because the 270, for whatever reason, was designed in such a way that it doesn't give 100% integrity bonus on blacktail, which I think is dumb. That should be changed, in my opinion, but it is what it is. Now, if they made it so that the 270 gave you the 100% integrity bonus on blacktail, I would gladly use that over the 243, and then bump up to the 338 instead of the 7mm, just for that extra stopping power. Rank Up says, what ammo do you typically use with 7mm? Well, actually, I'm going to get into ammo choice because it's a lot of misconceptions about which ammo to use and when to use it. So maybe I'll actually go through that right now, because I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that. So there's going to be two types of ammo in the game. And actually, no, before I get into this, hold on. Let me turn on my my noise gate instead of using push to talk, because that'll make it a little easier for me. All right, let's see. Yep, gate's working now. All right, anyway, so there's a lot of misconceptions about what kind of ammo to use. In the game, you have two types. You have expanding ammunition, and you have penetrating ammunition. Now, expanding ammunition is going to be things like the soft point bullets. There's also the, if I remember correctly, soft point round nose bullets in the lever action guns. You're also going to have the penetrating bullets. That's going to be things like the polymer tips, and the the soft points are the penetrating for the lever action. Hollow point are the expanding. And a lot of people will sit there and say penetrating ammo is better than expanding ammunition, and you should use it the moment you unlock it. And that's not, strictly speaking, true. Both of them have merits, and both of them are good in their own specific situations. If you're not the kind of person that likes to take the time to line up a perfect shot on the spine or the heart, go with your expanding ammunition, because if you're using expanding ammunition and you hit them in the lungs, say you have a broadside shot of a deer, you hit them in the lungs, that animal is going to bleed up very, very quickly. It's going to run a little distance, but you won't have to track it for very far, and then you'll be able to claim it. They don't have a lot of penetration though. So if you try and go with spine shots or heart shots with expanding ammunition, you're going to have very, very poor results. That being said, if you like to drop the animal in its tracks and get that quick kill bonus, penetrating ammunition like the poly tips and the soft point flat nose are the way to go, because they actually penetrate through the animal quite a lot farther. So they'll get through multiple layers of muscle and bone. It can actually get through the brain case if you shoot them in the head. It can get through the spine if you shoot them in the back of the neck, and it can actually get through leg and shoulder bone to get to the heart. And any shot to the spine, the head, or the heart is pretty much an instant kill when you're within the effective range of that weapon. So In addition, if you are at a weird oblique angle to the animal, so for example, if you're not looking at it directly side on, the penetrating ammunition can actually work better than expanding, because the penetrating ammunition can get through both lungs, for example. So it may offset the lower initial damage that it does. All right, let's see who joined us. Bovey. Hey, Bovey, what's up, man? Good to see you again. We got Gigamags99. Oh, you're not that late, man. You're only about 10-11 minutes late. We just got started. Just started saying hello to everybody. We were getting into the different types of ammunition before I got into shot placement and things like that. So expanding ammunition will do a very large amount of initial damage, and then it will apply a very high damage bleeding ticking bleed damage. So it'll hit arbitrary 50% of the animal's health. I'm not really sure how it all gets calculated, but we'll just say arbitrary numbers, 50% of the animal's health. It will then apply every X seconds percentage of their health bleed dot on the animal, which will slowly drain the rest of the animal's total health until it dies. So if you do that, if you hit a vital organ, i.e. the lungs with it, the animal will bleed out very, very quickly. But the expense is that it has very poor penetration. Penetrating ammunition, as you can understand, penetrates a lot better. It does a much smaller amount of initial damage, and it does a lower bleed, but it can actually get through stuff and hit the things that it needs to hit. If it hits a vital organ like the heart or the spine, it will do a massive amount of damage, as long as, again, you're within the effective range of that weapon, and as long as you're using the right weapon for the animal. So nobody that says penetrating ammunition, the poly tips are better than the soft points, is right. Conversely, anybody that says that soft points over poly tips is right, is, you know, better. Sorry, that's just not how it works. One is not better than the other, except in their respective situations, if that makes any sense. So I like to sorry, getting back to the question that I was asked by Rank Up, which is, what ammo do I typically use the 7mm? The answer is both of them. If you're going to bring out a rifle, bring both ammunition. It doesn't weigh anything. I don't believe it actually adds any weight. I could be wrong. We'll have to find that out right now. Yeah, so it does weigh a pittance, we'll say. Not very much. I gotta remember to buy this soft point ammunition before I leave, because if I don't, I will walk out there like an idiot without it and look like a fool. Alright, there we go. Alright, so ammunition. Let's go with soft point in that. Let's go with soft point in that. Our sights, I'll go with that, and we'll go with this. And lures out. That's all set up correctly. All right, let's catch up with chat here. Then we will start to hunt momentarily. The effective range of your weapon. Okay, so the general rule of thumb is for all of the weapons in the game, or for all the rifles in the game, sorry, your effective range is 150 meters. Past that point, you can still kill animals. That doesn't mean that a shot taken at 156 meters is not going to kill the animal. It just simply means that past 150 meters, the projectile starts to lose kinetic energy. And it means it's going to cause less damage to the animal. You can technically kill animals from 450 meters. There's plenty of screenshots out there of people killing animals at that distance. But you got to get the bullet in just the right place in order to do it. Penetrating ammunition certainly helps as well. Past about 150 meters as well, you get a lot of bullet drop. Wind does not affect bullet projectiles in the game. It does affect arrows, but not bullets themselves. However, they do have a lot of drop over long distance. After 150 meters, a lot of them start to drop quite a bit. The only exception to this rule is the 2 lever action rifles. The 30-30 and the 45-70 only really have about 100 meter effective range, and really I'd play it safe and say 75 to 80 meters, honestly. Past that point, you get a huge amount of bullet drop. You get a lot of kinetic energy loss because they're big slugs. They slow down really quickly. They make up for it with a quicker reload time and more stopping power, but over 100 meters, they're going to start to eat shit pretty quickly. Righteous, man, I gotta tell you, I agree with you 100%. That shotgun past about 10 meters, 15 meters is
Prison.
10 pounds of shit in a 5-pound bag. Here, let me rest so I can stop the rain, because the rain is loud. We'll go ahead, it's 3 hours. And now it's windy. That's not too bad. Anyway, yeah, the starting shotgun is wildly inaccurate. It's really meant to be used with bird and buckshot. It honestly is terrible. And it used to be way worse than it is now. Because it used to be you would not get 100% integrity bonus when using bird and buckshot. Because it would count the first pellet as the first projectile. And then it would count every other pellet that you fired in that same shot as a second strike on the animal. So the moment you have to take more than one shot to kill an animal, your integrity bonus goes down to nothing. They finally fixed that so that doesn't affect your integrity bonus, but it doesn't change the fact that that starting shotgun, terrible.
If you need a brand for your children, I bet you could get a lot of people.
You know, the slugs, on the other hand, are powerhouses, so it's worth muscling through the bird and buckshot stage to get to the slugs and unlock them. Even the slugs in that shotgun don't redeem it because it's so inaccurate. After about 15 to 20 meters, it's just you can't hit the broadside of a barn with it. So that over-under, the sooner you can get away from that, the better. The pump action is super accurate, though. It's really good to about 75 meters.
I wasn't talking about that. You could still be wolf in the dark, but when you're streaming, you could say...
Let's see, Gigamags, besides money, is there a max amount of ammo you can purchase / carry? There is not. You can carry as much as you want. Actually, it may be $9.99. I've never bought that much ammunition, to be truthful, so I don't know. But I guess there is technically, if it doesn't limit the amount, you might be limited by weight. So while there is technically a functional limit on how much ammunition you can carry, you would have to be carrying a lot of rounds in order to hit that. Let's see here. Yes, Jerry can. We will be hunting on Hunter 101. We're just going over a few questions. We'll get to it. Let's see here. Well, it depends on what you're using, Righteous. So you need to make sure that you are using the correct ammunition for that animal. If you use buckshot on a fox, for example, you're not going to get an integrity bonus. If you have to use more than one shot, you're not going to get an integrity bonus. The shotguns are weird. They're not in a very good place right now. I'm hoping that they're going to update them at some point, with any luck with the introduction of birds. Who knows when that's going to happen. And I'm going to head off questions at the pass right now. I cannot answer questions about when X animal is going to get added to the game, when X bug is going to get fixed. If it's a dev related question, I can't answer it. Sorry guys, I don't have that information. Even as a beta tester, Expansive Worlds does not release information to us unless it's something they want us to test right there. We have no idea when stuff's coming out. They won't give us any sort of roadmap of their content release, so I can't answer questions like that. Sorry, I wish I could. Rank Up says, any tips for hunting bear? Feel like they always give warning calls and run, can never get close enough to take shots. That's bear for you. They're very skittish, they're very easy to scare. They have a fantastic sense of smell and sense of hearing. Sight's not so good. But you really need to find a bear at a distance and call it into you, or find tracks and track it slowly. More often than not, the only time you're going to know there's a bear around is when you hear its warning call. If you hear a warning call of a bear, or any animal for that matter, that doesn't necessarily mean it's immediately turn tail and run away. It just means it's aware of your presence. You can crouch down, get inside a bush, lower your visibility, and call that animal in. And to me, that's the easiest way to do it. Is just wait till one calls, hunker down, call it in, shoot it. But they are very skittish. Coyote are even worse. Fox are probably the worst out of all of them. Oh. Yeah, Gigamags, the bows in the game have a lot of stopping power. Hey, and thank you for the subscribe. Really appreciate it. We're pushing towards 1,000. The bows have a lot of stopping power, so if you hit a deer broadside in the ribs at 30 meters with the appropriate arrow, it's going to drop on the spot just because it does so much damage to it. So it kind of makes up for the fact that they have very limited range in the game, which is not necessarily reflective of how bows work in real life. Compound bow up to 60-70 meters is dead accurate, but not in this game. You try and take a shot that long with a bow in this game and you're just gonna rage quit. Oh, rank up. Yeah, there is a call for bear, which I think I have. Yep, it's this one, the Distressed Fawn Caller. It's not as bad as it used to be. It used to use the Jackrabbit Caller, which used to be louder than it is now, back when the Moose Caller was absolute cancer. But they thankfully fixed that. Dang damn it, I can't really speak for the console. Wyatt Stanley, thank you for that subscribe. I can't really speak for the console because I don't play on console. I've been playing on PC for months now. So as far as controls and everything is concerned, I'm not surprised. This is not really an easy game to transfer over to console and have it control properly, unfortunately. Let's get out into the field and see if we can hunt some stuff. Unlikely Cash, thank you. I appreciate that. I'm glad that I can create content that everybody seems to like. Let's see here. Galen Scarf says, I don't know if it's just luck, but the Coyote/Fox Collar might work for bears. There is actually a perk. No, it's a skill in the Ambusher tree. Who's Deer? The first level adds a random chance of attracting a species that is not usually attracted by a particular caller. So if you have this skill, using the Coyote Caller might very well call a deer in. A bear might very well call in a moose too. This is the Ambusher tree is a mess, and I'm not going to get into it right now. I've already gone over it in my perks and skills Hunter 101 videos, but hate that tree. Let's see.
Does your bike?
Really, Bovi? That's weird. That doesn't sound like the one I've got here.
We cannot deal with crossbow sniper. We did.
That's not making any sound. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay, so that's bear.
It's a jeep.
And then this is coyote, which is horrible sounding. Well, there you go. Gigamax says you can press up on the D-pad, then left and right to cycle quickly through inventory. Alright, so we got a deer out here. What do we got? We've got a 4. Ah, nice. Alright, let's get our collar out. So we've got the wind blowing to the east, so it's not blowing towards the deer, which is good. Doesn't matter what direction it's blowing as long as it doesn't blow towards him. Let's see here. Let's get the process started on bringing them in. I'm going to make my way to these trees here and hunker down in the middle of it. No, I'm going to use the 243 for this just because I want to get that 100% integrity bonus. There he is. Now, with the prey, you can use the collars pretty much over and over again, and it's not going to spook them. That does not hold true with the predators. The predators can be very wary, and if you try to use the collar too many times, they will just run away. Yeah, these binoculars are great. It's just nice because they have a rangefinder in them, so I don't have to have a separate rangefinder and binoculars. Alright, so that was with the soft point ammunition. That was a side-on lung shot. And it does not look like he came out the other side. The girls came out, but he didn't. And I betcha he's right in the middle of that grass. So we'll go there and we'll check it out. Yeah, it could very well be a bug bovie. Yeah, I'm not going to bother. The wind's blowing towards her. She's not going to come to me. Not anytime soon. It could very well be a bug bovie. I have noticed a lot of bugs get transferred into the console version, which kind of bugs me, that they've been spending so much time on getting the console version ready that they have been neglecting the PC version a little bit, to find out that the console version has just as many bugs.
How many shots
Sorry,
does it take
I don't like
to
that.
tile? 1 in 5, because that's how many
Let's see here. Don't you get 100% integrity to 270? Not on Blacktail, believe it or not. And I said this earlier in the stream. It does not give you 100% integrity on Blacktail. Only on Whitetail and up, which is a bunch of malarkey. That 270 should give 100% on Blacktail all day long. All right, so we got a blood spatter, vital hit, and he ran this way.
Invasion.
It's just 3 girls. I don't need to hunt them or anything. 270 definitely won't give you 100% on row, that's for sure. Gigamag, so if you look at the tracks here, you've got white and you've got blue. If I inspect this track, you'll see it goes from white to blue. White is an inactive track that you are not currently, it's in the tracks of an animal that you're not currently tracking. Blue is one that you are. You can actually go into your options and you can change the colors that show up. So if you're colorblind, you can actually change it to a color you can see. It took them a long time to put this into the game, but I'm glad they finally did. And it's actually really nice too, because if you have white inactive tracks in the Siberian map, forget it. All right, so he's right up here. So you see, he didn't move very far from there to there. He bled out very, very quickly. By the way, hi to everybody who's come in the stream. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm glad everybody could make it in. All right, so you see with the expanding ammunition, it only penetrated one lung. It didn't get through it to the other lung, but it did a very large amount of initial damage, which meant that he bled out very quickly. That being said, I didn't get it very much of a quick kill bonus for it. If you want to be getting golds and diamonds on your animals, you are gonna have to learn how to take spine and heart shots on them to drop them on the spot. If you don't do that, they're gonna run too long and you're gonna lose your integrity bonus, your quick kill bonus, I should say, which is gonna ruin your final score. Sorry. Rank up. Does clearing out an entire herd cause the population of deer to decline? Should you leave the females so they reproduce? Well, okay. So the way the game populates animals is, and it was explained to us not too long ago, that when you kill an animal, another animal is spawned elsewhere in the reserve. So you can't deplete the animals in a reserve. You can only kill one and have another one show up somewhere else. There is also a radius around your character where the animals will spawn within that radius around you, but they will not spawn outside of that. So just kind of help on, I think it's like 450 to 500 meters past that, animals won't spawn. It just helps in performance, so you're not rendering animals, 3 miles away from you. Alright, so I'm gonna have to get my consecutive kill bonus up, which is kind of poopy. But for the next shot, I'm gonna use polymer tip so that I can show you guys what the penetrating ammunition does. Those girls went this way. Now, no, Righteous, you cannot damage an animal by hitting it with the ATV. However, if you hit an animal with an ATV, you will bounce off of it and cause damage to yourself. Because realism is not something that they want to do in this game, apparently. Alright, so get a couple females over here. Wrong
Where do you
caller.
wanna go? Wanna go back up?
Yeah, no, you can't cause damage to animals or other players with the ATV.
You're going back up?
Which, I mean, makes sense. Not from a realistic standpoint, but otherwise people would be hopping on an ATV just to mow down groups of animals. And nobody wants to.
Well, let's go to Stalbar. We had good luck last time. I think.
Oh, am I getting an FPS drop? Yeah, I'm getting FPS drops in the stream. Let me see.
Oh, okay. I got you going to school.
For some reason, Call of the Wild doesn't like to stream very well.
He marked the school. Oh, it's not.
Let's see if that helps a little bit. Let's see if these girls were even going to come in.
Wait. We are following the guy who just blamed us for all his deaths?
No, I don't think it was close enough. Okay.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Hey, if you guys have any questions, you know, like you have been, shout them out and I'll answer them as I see them. That's what this game is about, after all, or what this video is about.
We all gotta build it ourselves.
At some point here, I'm going to be going over shooting angles as well, and shot placement. So, lungs are always a safe bet, especially if you're using expanding ammunition, just because they're the biggest target on the animal. They actually, they occupy the biggest target in pretty much every animal in the game. Fox might not be. Let me hunker down here, actually. I've got a graphic set up. Yeah, I'll turn it on. There we go. Isn't that a beautiful deer? Okay, so I've done some overlays here. So this is your standard black-tailed deer. This is your bog standard deer, but this is going to hold true for all the herbivores in the game as well. So you have shots that are going to be one-shot kills. You have shots that could be close to a one-shot kill, but are probably going to be bleed outs, and then ones that are not going to be very good to use at all. So in order of ones that are worst, that's going to be gut shots. It's considered a non-vital hit. It will cause a low to medium bleed. It depends on what you're using. If you're using expanding, it's going to be a medium bleed. But the animal's going to run for quite a distance before it drops.
Kimberly.
But it is a big target. I wouldn't use it, personally. It's not something I would use. In a pinch, you can, but just know that you're not going to get a quick kill bonus on it. And you may have to do a follow-up shot as well. Moving up from that, you've got the lungs. The lungs occupy the largest target. And I see somebody saying, why go for lung shot? Why not neck or brain shot? Well, lungs are easy to line up a shot for. You know, for people that are just starting out, a lung shot is the easiest thing to do. You literally just aim at the side of the animal and pull the trigger. Again, you're not going to get a quick kill bonus on the animal, but it's very easy to do. And when you first start out with the soft points, that's the easiest way to kill an animal, because you're not going to reliably be able to kill an animal with heart or spine shots with the soft points. So if you're using soft points, go for these lung shots, because they're very, very reliable. They're not a super quick kill, but they're pretty much a guaranteed kill on any animal that you shoot. Past the lungs,
Oh my god.
you have the spine. Now the spine includes literally the neck, the back, and the brain. The brain is considered a spine shot, by the way. Any shot in this red area, though, if it penetrates and goes through it, is going to be an instant kill. You will not be able to do this with expanding ammunition. You're just not going to be able to do it. Sorry. I mean, it's just, that's not what the ammunition is designed for. You really need to use stuff like the poly tips in order to get through that. Now, a lot of people seem to think there's some controversy with shooting an animal in the head in the game. I'm just going to come out and say it. Shut up. because I know it's an ethical question in real life, and that's fine. I understand that. That's cool. This is a game, and it's all about numbers and getting those numbers as big as you can, as fast as you can. And the way to get high scores on these animals is to kill them in their tracks, and the way to kill them in their tracks is to shoot them in the head with the appropriate ammunition. If you're within 50 meters of an animal and you're using penetrating ammunition, you're going to want to aim right at the ear. Ooh, hold on. I hear hoofies.
No, I mean, that's not even. I mean, I'd be about this.
Yeah, if you're going to do lung shots, definitely use the expanding ammunition. Don't use poly ammunition for it. It's just not going to do anything for you. Maybe I was hearing things? I could have sworn I heard hoofs. Did you guys hear hoofs? Maybe I'm losing it. So, anyway, getting back to this. If you want to get diamond rating on animals, you have to drop them in their tracks, and the easiest way to do that is right in the head. Again, you can do the spine, but I find that from, like, maybe mid-body back, there is hooves.
This is fine.
Where is it?
It is fine.
There she is. Oh. Well, that wasn't the result I wanted. So even a headshot sometimes is not particularly reliable. Flesh wound. That's the worst kind of wound.
Are you throwing good into me?
That wasn't the best shot to take, by the way. And actually, that would be a good segue into angle of attack, which is going to take a little bit of finagling. So why don't I hunker down here? Let me go back to this real quick and just go over the different shots. So the spine shots, including the headshot, are very, very reliable. Use the penetrating ammunition. Make sure you're aiming properly. But you can also go for heart shots. This will be a one-shot kill. So this is a very easy spot to hit once you know where to aim. Broadside, this is deceptive. And when you look at the leg of the animal, let me see. Capture cursor.
Oh, wait. Yeah, yes.
There we go.
Yes.
Capturing the cursor. Oh, what? There it is. Okay. So this is a very easy spot to hit once you know where it is. This leg, however, is very deceptive. The shape of it is very, very, very deceptive. It looks like the leg, the bone on the leg, goes down like this and then comes out. That's not the case. The shoulder blade and the leg come down like this, down like that, and down like that. I know that doesn't make a lot of sense. So we'll do this. We'll do that. Hold, please. I don't know what this is going to look like, but so this is the leg bone. That means if you're aiming right in this crook here, you're likely to hit the heart. If you're using penetrating ammunition, it's likely to go through the leg and hit the heart. If you aim right behind here, right at the top corner of this leg, it's going to go through the lung. So that's a good place to aim with your expanding ammunition. If you shoot at the animal from the front, don't aim dead center in the chest, because the breastbone is going to deflect the bullet. You're going to want to aim a little bit off to the left or right, preferably taking the animal from a front quarter instead of head on is a good safe bet. All right, so we'll close that out. Now I'm going to go over the different shooting angles. But let me just kind of catch up on chat here. Thoughts on neck shots? Are they effective at instant drops? Oh yeah, definitely. And actually, for moose, that's one of the best shots to take. Right at the top of the shoulder, about I'd say 6 inches down from the very, very top of the animal. That's considered a spine shot, and it'll drop them every single time. It's a great shot to take. I shoot back spine for bison, neck for everything else. Yeah, bison spine shot is really good for them, especially since when you wound them, there's a very good chance they're going to turn around and curb stomp you. The one animal that is very, very, very tricky to get a neck shot on are wild boar, because the neck bone doesn't look like it should. So instead of having say this is the skull, instead of having the body and this is the neck, the spine, and this is its neck, it's not like this at all. It looks like it is, but it's not. It's actually like that. So you've got your skull here, you've got the neck that comes down and then comes back up. My arm can't bend that well into the spine. So with boar, the best way to hit the neck is behind the ear at the back of the head. If you are going to shoot an animal in the head, general rule of thumb is if you're from the side, which is where you should be if you're aiming at the head, aim for the inside of the ear, and that will be a kill every single time.
What happened to him?
And believe it or not, you can actually kill bison with the 223 if you are able to get a shot down on the top of it into the spine.
Get the neck off.
Now, I am going to do something that may crash the game. I just want to let everybody know that. So, get that up. We'll get this up. We will get this up. Video tool. Here it is.
I thought he was imposter. I saw you talking about the vehicle. I had to help.
Hopefully this is going to work. Half the time it does, half the time it doesn't.
Oh, grenade.
And if it works, I'll be super happy. Ooh, looks like the stream blipped out there for a second.
Oh, God. Oh, God.
Looks like it worked. Excellent. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys something really cool. UI gone, and there we go. Now we get to fly. This is not a hack. I am not cheating. This is a camera tool developed by somebody for use with this game. So I'm going to freeze time here. Oh, look at this beautiful buck. So I'm going to go over shooting angles with you guys real quick. If you're shooting at an animal from the side like this, oh man, if I could get this angle right, that'd be great.
Maybe I'll do it.
So if it's from the side like this is what I like to call broadside. This is going to give you the best possible profile for shooting the lungs, for shooting the spine, and shooting the head. Not the best angle for a heart, though it can work. And this is what I consider the best shooting angle for everything except hearts. But I will also show you the worst angles, and then we'll do the in-betweens. So this is the best angle for most shots. This is hands down the worst angle for shooting at the animals. Now, you can potentially come out here and hit him right in the back of the head. But chances are pretty good you're going to hit him in the butt, which means a flesh wound at best. Well, I say at best, probably at worst, a flesh wound. And a non-mortal wound, which means a gut shot at worst. So never try to shoot at an animal, but if you can help it, the penetration on the penetrating animal is not great enough to really get through it to anything major. So don't shoot his butt. Okay, if you can help it.
Oh, the circle's running again. The circle's running again.
So second worst shooting angle is going to be straight on.
Oh, we're done.
And the reason is a bullet is very likely to skip off of the animal's head if you try and shoot this way.
No.
You aren't going to reliably be able to pierce the lungs, and if you are, you're only going to be able to hit one. And it is difficult to hit the heart because at this angle. Oh no, I don't need to see deer dick. That's for sure. It's hard to say because hard to see because of the angle, but that breastbone that's right in the middle, that keel right in the middle, is going to stop your shot half the time. So the head-on is not a very good shot to take. So the other angles are quartering angles like this. This is a very serviceable angle, and it gives you the best possible way to hit the heart because you have direct access at it to get in ahead of the leg and behind the breastbone. You can get both lungs if you aim appropriately. And what I mean by aim appropriately is you have to understand that when you shoot an animal from a weird oblique quarter angle, it's not going to hit both lungs unless you aim ahead. Sorry, I wish I had a visual aid to throw up on the screen, but if you hit it in the shoulder, it's going to pass through the shoulder, go through one lung, and probably miss the other as it exits the body at the back right half. So you definitely don't want to shoot from that angle unless you know exactly how to line it up. But this is not a bad angle to shoot from. It's not ideal for things like lung shots, but it's great for heart shots. And then a rear quarter shot is good for getting the lungs. You can actually get both lungs with this, no problem. Heart shots, not so much. So when you're shooting, general rule of thumb is broadside's best for everything but heart shots, front quarter for heart shots. Okay? Make sense? All right, we just turn these tools off. Guys, how's the stream content or the quality of the stream? There we go. YouTube was telling me it was having some weird buffering issues while I was using that, and the game crashed. Lovely. So I have to fire that mother back up. Sorry guys, I was hoping that was going to go smoother than it did, but apparently it didn't want to. Which is weird because I've streamed using that camera tool before and never had any problems, but evidently YouTube doesn't like it. Which kind of stinks because it puts us back at the outpost, but whatever. It's not that big of a deal. So, Gigamags was putting my kids to bed. No problem, man. I know how it goes. I got a 2-year-old daughter myself. Sorry if you answered already. Will completing missions rank you up faster? Do you just play? Missions do give you a good amount of experience and money, but the amount of time that they take to complete make them very inefficient ways of leveling. So go out there and hunt. Kill as much as you can. Shoot as many animals as you can. And especially when you first start out, don't be too picky.
Said autistic 50 times.
Females are just as good as males. Money is money. Experience is experience. Skill is skill. So when you first start out, kill everything you come across that you are capable of killing. Hey Dylan, good luck on your moose hunt tomorrow, man. Kill some stuff for me, alright? Come back and let us know if you get something. Alright, do you recommend follow-up shots or let them run and bleed out if you think you have a vital hit? Typically what happens, especially if it's a lung shot, is you can get up and go right after the animal. If it's a shot that you have any question about, the quality of. So, for example, if you think you fudged it and made a flesh wound, let them run for a little bit before you go. Animals will only run a certain distance, then slow to a trot, and then slow back down to a walk. If you just go charging after them, especially if you're running, you're going to spook them again. They're going to keep running, and they're just going to perpetually be ahead of you, and you're going to be chasing them for a long time. If you give them a minute to calm down, slow down to a walk,
Okay.
then what's going to end up happening is they're going to go back to their normal feed or whatever pattern,
He's legit.
and you'll be able to take a follow-up shot on them. Or they may just bleed out to death. It depends on what kind of shot you took. So most times you're going to want to let them run for a little bit, but obviously if you see the animal drop to its tracks, you can run right up and harvest it. All right, so did everyone see the shot angle portion of the stream? Again, YouTube was giving me some warnings, so I just want to make sure that that was legible enough for people to understand what I was saying. Quick follow-up shots, if you can, without wounding the animal. So if you have an animal running away from you, like straight away from you, you generally aren't going to want to take a follow-up shot until you get really, really comfortable with the weapons and can make very quick shot placements. Don't do a follow-up shot because you're more than likely to wound the animal, and which is just going to make it run more.
Oh, sir.
I mean, I guess you can. It's a situation-based sort of thing. Sometimes you're going to want to, sometimes you're not going to want to. But for the most part, you're not often going to want to take a quick follow-up shot.
Who's shooting? Oh.
Is there a range for the noise of the ATV? Yes, there is. It's very, very large. I want to say they came out and said it was 300 meters, which doesn't sound like a lot. It's a very, very large distance around you. The ATV is really not meant for sneaking up on animals. If you're going to use it to get out to a hunting spot, you're really going to want to stop quite a distance away from that hunting spot and then sneak in quietly, because otherwise it's going to spook everything around you. What do we got here? We got a girl deer. Okay. So it's really good for going around and getting all the different outposts. But as far as getting to a hunting ground is concerned, like I said, it'll get you close if it's far away, but you really need to stop ahead of time and make sure that you are not getting too close, because otherwise you're going to spook everything in the radius around you. Alright, let me see here. Let's see if I can't call him in. Ooh, we got a bear going across. Alright, let's call that man. Hey man, you gotta smell good for deer. If you don't smell good, they're not going to want to be near you. Didn't you know that? That was actually scent eliminator. So when I noticed that he was in that direction, I noticed my scent was blowing sort of in his direction. So when you spray the scent eliminator on you, it works for 5 minutes, I think, of real lifetime. And that will eliminate the amount of scent that you're sending towards them so they won't smell it.
Oh my god.
Well, here she comes, but I don't know where the male is.
Why do you do
Well,
that?
let's see if I can not screw up this headshot again. She's got too weird of an angle. So a heart shot it is. See what I mean about that front quarter angle being really good for heart shots? Dropped it like a bad habit. So, you see how that came in like that? It hit the heart somehow. Somehow hit the heart, but it also hit the lung. So I was aiming here, but it ended up exiting over here. It's one of those things where you got to make sure that when you're shooting at a weird angle, you account for the fact that you're shooting at a weird angle. It's not just going to go straight through. It's going to go through and hit things, at an angle. I feel like I'm saying angle way too much. All right, so we got her. I suppose now is as good a time as any to kind of explain how I go about doing my hunts. This is just how I do it. You can certainly do your hunts a little bit differently if you'd like. But before I go out to a hunt, I kind of figure out what I want to do for that particular hunt. So, for example, in this one, I'm just kind of in this area here getting deer. So I know that I don't need to bring an elk collar. I don't need to bring a moose collar. Because none of those animals really come down here. I do know I'm going to need a deer collar, and I will need a bear collar, and likely a coyote collar. I don't usually call in and hunt coyotes because they're kind of a pain in the butt, but I like to carry it with me anyway. It doesn't really weigh anything. I then go over what sort of weapon do I want to use for these animals. Do I want to use a rifle? Do I want to use a handgun? Do I want to use bows? And then figure out which ammunition I'm going to need to bring with me. So it's really a matter of getting all your ducks in a row before you head out. Do I want to bring a blind? Do I want to bring a tent? Once I figure out what I'm doing and where I'm going, I go there. And honestly, the best way that I find to hunt is to ignore any of the blinds and stands. They are not useful in the least. Maybe 5% of the ones in the game are at all useful. Getting towards nighttime. When you rank up, can you carry more gear? You cannot. Ranking up doesn't increase how much you can carry. There is a skill in the ambusher tree in tier 3 for whatever reason that increases your base carry capacity by 15%. And equipment, now I'll have to show you guys back at an outpost, but you can get backpacks will increase your carrying capacity, but they also increase your visibility and the noise you create. So to me, it's not really worth it. I don't find that it's worth having that extra noise just to carry a few extra things. That 20-pound limit seems like you eat it up really quickly, but it's enough for 2 weapons, a tent, and all of your different ammo and everything. So to me, that's enough. Why do coyotes pay out more than most other animals? They're a pain in the ass to call in. Just answer your own question, buddy. They are a big pain to call in. You really got to call twice and wait and be patient. With coyotes and with fox, you have to have patience. Otherwise, you're never going to be successful. Fox especially. And that's why I can't hunt fox, because I don't have patience. They will outlast you. They will sit there and wait and wait and wait and wait, and you'll think to yourself, well, I guess it went away. And you'll get up and you'll start to walk away and you'll hear their warning call and you'll want to shoot yourself in the head. It's the same thing like coyotes. They're very wary. It takes a while to call them in. I hate that. I hate how sometimes it looks like there's an animal off in the distance, but there's not. It takes a while to call coyotes in. The predators in the game don't come straight towards you when you call them in like the deer do. The coyotes like to circle around and come at you from a different angle. Fox take their time. They survey the area. They come in a little bit at a time, a little bit. They'll stop and smell. That's why fox is such a pain in the butt. So because they're a little bit more of a challenge to hunt, you get more of a payoff for it. Bear aren't as wary. A little bit, but not as. I still say that looks like a deer. is a deer. Well, what the hell? You guys saw that. There wasn't a deer there before. Am I crazy? Do you hunt all day, or do you stick to certain times a day? There is no difference in what time of day you hunt. Honestly, the animals are out no matter what time of day it is. You can hunt at night. You can hunt during the day. There are no bonuses for hunting during either time of day. Night hunting is interesting, I guess, but it's a pain in the butt because you have to have your lantern on to see any tracks. This does not
Josh. Josh is the killing me.
affect your visibility to the animals, and it just makes it a bit more of a pain in the butt than I like. So I typically tend to go out on a hunt first thing in the morning, like 5:30, 6 o'clock, and just stay out for the day. And then you can rest for the next morning and go from there. How have I not collected this yet? It's like one of the first ones I find. Alright, so we're gonna sneak over this way. Janice Kingston says, yesterday I got attacked by a bear and I blind fired at it and managed to miss his heart by a centimeter. Yeah, that happens an awful lot. I find that bear are not that threatening when they attack you, because the AI for them attacking is terrible. Alright, let's see if we can get a good spine shot on it. Show you guys how effective it is. Since I'm not really at a good enough angle for a headshot. And once I get over here, I don't think I'm going to really be able to see it very well through the brush. Oh no. Well, we'll see. That's a pretty decent angle. So like I said, for headshots, a lot of times you're going to want to aim for the inside of the ear. Get your head up. Ba-boom. Again, there's ethical considerations in real life, not in the game. That's sufficient right there. One shot, I don't get to track it, falls in its tracks. Look at that, 100% quick kill bonus. You see, when you go in through the air like that, you're pretty much guaranteed to hit the brain. You know, anywhere below the eyes, and you're not going to hit the brain. Although, they consider this a skull shot. I have seen shots that hit them right here, that if it doesn't then go through the spine, it doesn't down the animal. Well, what do you think, guys? Should I go for some elk and moose next? I mean, the blacktail are nice. I like hunting them, but there's nothing quite like taking down an elk or a deer, or a moose. Sorry, my bad. Because I can always head up here. How have I not unlocked Caliburn? Oh, that's right, my save got corrupted. So I beta test for them, and the beta client messes with your saves. A lot of times it'll revert it or just reset it outright. So I can't tell you how many times I've gotten almost to 60 and then had to start all over again. But I could go up to here, High Lake Outpost, because you'll typically see a lot of elk and moose down around this area. Maybe that's what I'll do. So we'll go up to here. We will fast travel. Let's see here. Gigamags. At distance, is there bullet drop? Yes, there is. Under 150 meters, all the rifles shoot pretty much flat as a button. Past that, you will start to notice bullet drop. The easiest way to gauge that, go to the shooting gallery and just fire off at different ranges. And you'll kind of get a feel for it. All right, before we get into this, give me 1 sec to take a quick break, guys, and I'll be right back with you. All right, ladies, I'm back. So, all right, I got my 7 mil equipped. What I'm going to do is rest until the morning, because I'm not hunting moose at night. And let's see, we're going to go to, we'll get an early start. 5:30. And it's raining out. Rank Up Game says, shot placement on moose is a mystery to me. Well, with any luck, we will change that. I'm going to make my way down here because there's lots of moose down in High Lake. There is a guide on the Steam forums. If you give me 2 minutes and 2 seconds, I will actually find that link for you. There's a guy who set up, so he basically took the entire map here and he just kind of overlaid where you're going to find animals. He did a really good job of it, actually. All right, discussions. Media, videos, pictures. Let's see here. Maybe it's tip, tricks, and cards. Yep, animal location maps for Leighton Lakes and Hirschfelden. Alright, let's see here. I'll paste this in the chat. There you go. See if that works for you. Oh, you know what I need to do? I need to go get my elk collar. Just in case I run across some elk, which is very possible. Shot placement on elk is pretty much the exact same as deer. Yeah, from what I've noticed. Alright, backpack. Weapons, ammo, sights, lures, elk collar. Bubbing. And we'll go lures, elk collar, we'll do S7. Unfortunately, I have not unlocked the moose collar yet, which is kind of a bummer. Level 35, I think. So I'm almost there. I was almost there before, but it reverted my game save again. Which I really wish it would stop doing. Hey, no problem, buddy. Ask and you shall receive.
Oh, that's close.
Alright, let's see if there's any moose down here by the water first. So you can typically find animals in certain locations. And I don't mean like areas on the map, I mean moose. A lot of times you're going to find down near the water. Out in the wild, that's where you find them. When I was young, we used to go out for nature rides after Sunday dinners, which is a very old-fashioned sounding sentence, now that I've said it. And we would drive past some swamplands, and bogs and marshes and things like that. And you'd always see the moose out there chest deep in water. In this game, you're going to find moose around water. That's just where they are. They like to be down around areas like this. You'll very rarely find them up in mountainous regions. That's just not where they show up. Elk tend to migrate between mountainous regions down to the water and then back up. Bear are in lowland areas. Coyote, same thing, especially where there's lots of cover. So I didn't see any moose. Meese? Moosin. Full rank. The moment I find a moose, I will shoot it, and we will inspect it together. How's that sound? But yeah, anyway, getting back to my typical hunt, you know, I like to figure out what I'm going to need, where I'm going to hunt, go there, and literally do what I'm doing right now. It's just walking around, waiting for something to call, or until I see something or I see some tracks. To me, that's the best way to do it, honestly. Don't use the stands and blinds just because they're not very good. They just have very poor placement, very poor lines of sight. Not really worth wasting the money on them. It would be nice if they added the placeable tree stands to the game like they have in Classic. That would be pretty cool. I don't know if they're going to do that. I can hope. Ugh, excuse me. I would like to see some simulation of game trails in the game, where animals are frequently using that pathway and you can set up to ambush them there. I think that would be a really realistic addition to the game. There's a lot of stuff I'd like to see added to the game, truthfully. Obviously, more weapons, more reserves. Yeah, I'd like to see things like that. Hold on one second. I know I had a question or two asked of me on Facebook, so let me pop those up. Gus Hines on Facebook asked me, he said, let me just make sure I'm going the right direction here. We'll go down this pathway, and this should take us to where we need to go, which is down to the lake. He says, I started the game with 2 indigo blinds and 3 orange blinds. It only allowed me to equip one or the other, but it would show 2 indigo, and if I set one up, it would still show I had one on my inventory, so I was able to set up 2. This went on for a while. I had one set up and one in my inventory, and fast traveled to the outpost. Saved the game and came back later. I traveled via ATV back to the field where my blind was set up. I picked it up, and now I only have one. What happened to my second? In my inventory, see, it only allows me to carry either a tent or a blind. Will I be able to carry more equipment the higher I go on level? I'm currently level 10. Well, Gus, tents have been foobar ever since they put them into the game. They fix one bug and introduce another. Oh, well, hey, what's up, buddy? The tents have been screwed up ever since they added them to the game. It's been bug after bug after bug after bug, and they can't really seem to get out of their own way and fix it. Tents disappearing out of people's inventory is nothing new. Oh. That is an angry elk. I'm going to put on my body spray. Maybe too late. It's because my scent was blowing right at him. Alright, where is he? Like I said, it may be too late. He may have taken off already, but we'll find out. But yeah, tents have been screwed up ever since they got added to the game. Yeah, he's not happy. He's probably going to take off before I can get him in sight. They've disappeared off of the map and out of people's bags. Yep, there he goes.
I wonder if that's why.
The amount that you've had in your bags has changed over time. They were going to set it up so that they refunded the in-game currency to people who bought them and had it disappear. I'm really kind of saddened to hear that the tent bugs have made it over into the console version. I don't think that's I think it's an excuse for that. But just know that it's not you. It's not something that you're doing wrong. That's just the way they are. You are able to carry a tent and a blind at the same time. However, keep in mind that tents and the blinds both weigh quite a lot. So unless you're using a backpack, when you combine the 6 pounds for a tent, the 6 pounds for a blind, your weapons, your collars, and everything else, it's likely going to be over your 20-pound limit. So you can carry both, but there's not usually a reason to. I mean, you technically only need to carry one map, one tent. You only need to buy one tent and carry one tent at a given time. So if you're trying to trek across the map, pick up your tent, bring it with you. When you get to where you want to stop, save the game so you can come back to it later, drop down your tent. When you log back in, you can then pick up the tent and go on your merry way. So it's sort of like a mobile outpost where it allows you to save your progress. Past that, I don't really find a lot of good use for them, because once you actually unlock all of the outposts, travel becomes pretty trivial, especially when you use the ATV. So if you hear a mating call, that means the animal is not aware of your presence, at least not yet. If you hear a warning call, that means the animal is aware of you in one way or another. A warning call does not necessarily mean that the animal has immediately run away. Now, if you come around a corner and you're face to face with the deer and it makes a warning call, it's running away. Sorry, it's just the way it's going to be. But if you hear a warning call off in the distance, it means the animal has either heard you, or it's caught a whiff of you, or potentially seen you. If you immediately crouch and make your way to the nearest bush to help hide yourself, that's really good. Oh, here we go. It's a coyote. Oh boy.
Surprised he knows a word that's that big.
Now, that coyote probably heard me. I know it didn't smell me. It may have seen me. But it definitely didn't smell me. Now, I don't know how successful we'll be here, because patience is not my virtue. But anyway, calling in an animal with the mating call versus the warning call, there's no practical difference. It may take them a little bit longer to respond to the call if they've just given a warning. But other than that, calling them in is the same no matter, what the situation is.
Oh my god, can you not?
Timing doesn't matter. Just keep in mind, like I said, with the carnivores, the coyote, bear, and red fox, if you just spam the collar, they're going to run away on you. Yep, there it is. See how cautious this animal is when it comes in? Oh, this lovely little bug.
There's a level 2. Quit laughing, Josh. God damn it. You're endorsing bad behavior. Get the fuck out of here. You're fucking joking, right?
Let's see if I can get it to come in. But that coyote is going to take its time.
Man.
It's really going to take its time.
Oh my
It's
god.
going to pick its steps.
Oh my god.
Going to come in at a weird angle. They don't typically come straight in because he's trying to circle around and make sure that there is no danger. I'm actually happy that they did that with them, because
Why did you let
I feel like if they just came straight at you, it wouldn't be as much of a
You didn't
challenge.
think he was gonna come after me with a machete in the mouth.
I'm not going to shoot this animal because he's too close to the tree. And the trees have really weird hitboxes on them.
He likes listening to it echo.
Come on, you little bastard. That's how you bring in a coyote. Just gotta outlast the little bugger.
What? Oh my god.
Alright, so now that we have one down, let's take a look at the physiology of it. Heart shots on coyotes are very unreliable because you can see the heart is very, very, very tiny compared to a deer where it's, you know, a bit bigger. Head shots, again, are really reliable. Lung shots are really reliable just because the lungs are so big. Spine shots are fairly easy, but never really try for a hard shot with a coyote. They're just so small, and it's just so difficult to actually hit it. Thank you, Rank Up. I appreciate that. But that's why they're worth more, because there's so much more of a pain in the butt to bring in. All right, let us continue on. I wouldn't normally have taken that female coyote, but I need to get my consecutive harvest bonus up. Which, I think we were talking about this on stream the other night, about the consecutive harvest bonus. I don't, or maybe it's quick kill bonus. I don't remember. In my silver years, I don't remember as many things. But the consecutive harvest bonus, I feel like it needs to be tweaked. I understand that they're encouraging you to not shoot animals and then just let them run away and not collect them. But having to go out and shoot 5 animals, just arbitrary animals, just to bring your bonus up, to me feels a little dumb. You know, I have to waste time shooting animals that I could be spending, well, shooting other animals, I guess, but animals I actually want to shoot. Well, Rank, at this level, I can choose to be a little picky. I would prefer to go after males because males of all animals species in this game give you more of a reward. So I would prefer to go for male coyotes because that's going to give me more of a reward. But all animals count towards your consecutive kill bonus. So that's why I went for. The bow does have a much smaller spook radius than the rifle does. Not a hugely smaller one. You know, anything within 50 to 60 meters is going to hear you, but it's not nearly as large as a rifle. That being said, it's probably a little louder than it should be. Again, the bows don't really accurately model real life bows, both in their range and as much sound as they make. But 50 to 60 meters, you should be pretty safe, as long as the animal's outside of that. Under it, you're probably going to scare everything. Well, there's nothing down at the water today. Dodo Gaming, hello. Welcome to the stream, man. Glad you could join us. If you have any questions about the game, throw them on out there. I'll answer them for you. Very, very quiet this morning.
Oh my god. Ask if their parents work at a nail salon. Can you do it now? Just one. No.
This is such a pretty game. I say this an awful lot, but it is such a pretty game. You know, I'm not shooting anything right now. There's no animals around me. I'm not having a whole lot of hunting success right now. But I'm still enjoying myself because it's such a pretty game, you know? It's got all the ambience of the birds and the insects and the wind and the water. You know, you got the sun shining and, you know, even though I'm not killing anything, it's still a pleasant walk. It's still nice to just kind of walk around. And that's what I do sometimes. Sometimes I'll go out, no weapons or anything, Sometimes I'll bring up the camera and take pictures,
Cool.
and just enjoy myself, you know.
That's cool.
It definitely is. It's definitely a walking simulator. Well, Rank, it's taking me longer than I'm expecting it to, just because there's a lot of production that goes into something like that, as compared to the other Hunter 101 videos where I basically just load up the game and talk over it as I'm playing. And the shot placement video is going to require a lot of video and photo editing to kind of be up to my own personal standards to make sure that it's a good looking video for you guys. And I want to make sure that it not only looks good for you guys, but it sounds good and that it presents information in such a way that it's really easy to understand. If you go back, I did talk about shot placement earlier in the video. I kind of fumbled around through it though. I didn't do a very good job of it in my opinion. So again, the shot placement video is currently being worked on. It's just recording the voiceovers, doing the photo editing and stuff like that. It's taking a long time, and it'll come out when it comes out. I was hoping by the end of this week. It's just, I just want to put a lot of work into it.
Yeah. Marshall's like, are you speaking with an accent? I'm like, where have you been?
Sorry guys, I had to chastise my fiance for talking like she was British because she gets scared in PlayerUnknown Battleground. Oh, she's a catch. Let's see here.
I don't know if I want to play on the server anymore. That was really creepy.
Where do pics you take on camera go once you take them? Curious if there's a purpose. I do not know on console
Like, no hair,
where they go. I would assume they're stored somewhere in the game, and then you can then choose to export them. In PC, they're just saved in your Steam screenshot folders. You know, so, I mean, you know, if I take a picture right now, it'll be my Steam screenshot folder.
Oh, you got booty taste. Booty, it's booty taste.
Oh.
Taste that booty.
Mose. It's only a female, but better than nothing. Any port in the storm, as they say.
Oh, oh my god.
Which is convenient because it's starting to rain. There she is. And we got the wind blowing directly at her. Great. What is he doing with this? I love this game, guys. I really do, but I had a lot of visual bugs. Okay, what do we got over here? Another female, but the wind's not blowing directly at her. And then we got a female deer. Another female deer. Oh, so this is where all the animals have been, is down here.
We're gonna look up, like, profanity in Japanese.
Yeah, see, even on PC, changing your ammunition and everything is kind of a pain in the butt, to be truthful. Alright, let's see if we can't get close to her and get a nice lung shot.
Well, there's a marker.
Nice, reliable lung shot.
He can't read the age of markers.
Kind of hoping for a bowl, but I will take what I can get.
Say konnichiwa. all meditate. Calm down. Ask the mom to run now.
By the way, did any of you guys hunt in real life? We had somebody earlier who said they were getting up tomorrow morning to go on a moose hunt. Let's see, speaking of which, where the hell is she? There's a deer. There's the other deer. I don't see the moose. Stand up real quick. Sit down real quick. Yeah, do any of you guys hunt in real life? How do you find that this compares to it? Is that her there? I think she's right there. I personally used to hunt when I was younger. So I'm originally from the great state of New Hampshire. That's right.
Pretty sure that's already happened.
Did you guys see that? She just sort of appeared.
Yeah. It's a wonderful thing. And they haven't paid rent in like half a year.
Oh, don't you walk away from me. Make up your mind. You could turn broadside. That would be great. You guys saw that, right? She wasn't there. And then all of a sudden, she just rose up out of the ground like a zombie. Bullshit. That's what it is. Bullshit. I gotta kill something, so. Here, why don't I show you guys what happens when you take a double lung shot with penetrating ammunition? Oh, you like to fish? I love to fish. It's been a while since I've been fishing now. Anyway, I'm from the great state of New Hampshire, born and raised. Unfortunately, no longer living there. I am in the horrible, horrible state of Florida. And I miss New Hampshire a lot. So, double lung shot, that'll be a vital hit. She'll have run this way. Now, let's see what sort of bleed rate we're getting out of it. Yeah, she's almost dead. Yeah, she's right up there. So, double lung shot with penetrating ammo is not too bad. She didn't run too far. She ran further than that buck we shot earlier, that's for sure. But not a huge amount. Downside to it is if I missed the lungs, which, I mean, you'd have to be pretty bad to miss the lungs, it would have been a flesh wound with a very low bleed rate. So you see, that was able to penetrate both lungs and do more damage than if it just hit the one lung. So double lung with penetrating ammo, almost comparable to single lung with expanding ammunition. But I used to hunt a lot when I was younger up in New Hampshire. A lot of deer hunting. I had a Ruger Firearms American rifle, chambered in .243. It was a really, really nice little rifle. And honestly, it's all you need for deer. .243, more than enough. You get a lot of people saying that you need a 30-06 to take down deer, and I just feel that that's too big. It's just overkill. It beats the hell out of you. Alright, let's see here. Rank of games use metric for any particular reason. I switched to Imperial as I'm used to yards versus meters. Well, I mean, freedom units are nice and everything. But the thing is, this game was developed by people in Switzerland. So all the distances, all the calculations and everything are made in metric. So that means that, you know, you have 150 meters is the effective range for rifles. So if you swap it over to Imperial units, that then becomes 164 yards. I use the metric just because it's much easier to remember the numbers. Everything's done in tens. It's just, it's not so much that I prefer metric. It's just the numbers are easier to understand, just because the game was made by people who use metric in their everyday life. All right, we got another female moose there. Let's see if we can go take her. You know, it's easier to say 100 meters than it is to say, you know, 108 yards or whatever it ends up being. Oh, cuz you're from Maine, eh? Well, I love Maine. Whereabouts in Maine are you from? You know, I'm headed north. I'm not particularly against that, since I, for whatever reason, haven't gotten up to Caliburn yet to unlock that outpost. Oh, and of course the wind is blowing right at her. Little town of J. Where's that from? Where's that near? She's gonna make this really difficult, isn't she? So you should really, honestly, never stalk an animal with the wind blowing directly at them, even with the scent eliminator. It's going to make it very, very difficult to kill them, because they're just going to keep smelling you, and no matter what you do. Come on, honey, turn sideways. She's not going to do it, is she?
Dude, I went to my mom's.
Oh, come on.
Worry about fucking jumping all over it. Barking at fucking everything.
95% of hunting is waiting. Oh, I don't know if that was a lung shot. That could very well have been a gut shot. We'll find out. How long is my typical hunting session? Well, however much time I have. When I'm streaming, I usually like to do at least an hour, hour and a half. When I'm just playing by myself, however long I have until my kid wakes up from a nap or I have to go to bed to get ready for work the next morning. So that can be anywhere from half an hour to an hour, hour and a half. You know, I put a lot of hours into this game when I first got it because I was, you know, writing the wiki for it and everything. So I kind of got a little burnt out. Alright, so... definitely wasn't a long shot. We're going to be tracking her for a little while. 20 minutes from Farmington, hour to Augusta. Yeah, I know roughly where you are. Well, as a fellow northerner, well, I salute you, by the Jesus. Alright, let's see what sort of bleed rate we're getting out of it. Very low. Well, that's not good. I shouldn't have taken the shot anyway. I should have gotten closer. I should have gotten... There's a lot of second guessing yourself in the shots that you've taken in this game. Hopefully by giving her a little bit of a head start, she will slow down and present another shot for us. I'll lose my integrity bonus, but this is what it is. Polymer. On very low bleed rate, is it worth it to chase? Sometimes. Depends on the animal. You know, she's not bleeding out, but I typically don't like to leave a shot animal, if I can help it, because, you know, that gives you a hit to your consecutive kill bonus. But then sometimes you run into this, where the animal has disappeared. Goes that way. That way, okay, so she doubled back and came back on us.
Get you up.
Hey Curtis, you know, you say that, but I miss the peepers, man. I miss laying in bed on a summer evening with the window open, listening to the peepers. I miss the sound of toads mating. There she is. Oh no, that's a male. Oh, the wind keeps blowing at everything, and I'm out of sense eliminator. Yeah, I miss the peepers. I miss the toads trilling. I miss a lot of stuff, if I'm honest. Let's see if I can actually get through this water, or if it's going to block me. Okay, no, I'd love to get up and start running and scare animals. She went this way. Yeah, see, she's down to 50 to 75%. Where is she at? Figured I would have heard her by now. She's a trot, so she's still moving. That could very well be her. Oh, the leaf peepers, yeah. Yeah, especially in New Hampshire, we get a lot of those up around the White Mountains. Flatlanders, as we say. I don't miss that. I don't miss the tourists. They were never really that bad, though. Not compared to down here. God, I hate this state.
Oh.
Well, dagnabbit, the best way to use the scent lures is to not waste your money on them and use them at all. Their current implementation into the game is not very good. You have to be upwind from an animal in order for them to work. Which, I mean, I guess it makes sense. Ooh, what do we got here? Big old buck. Well, bull. Sorry. Get in here and hide myself. And unfortunately, I do not have a moose collar. That wasn't a good shot. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not being a very good example of you tonight, am I?
I don't have a good
Yeah, I don't like the scent lures as they are currently implemented into the game. I don't find that they work at all. It's just... they're kind of a pain in the butt. And they have really high level requirements, too. The blacktail scent lure, I don't think you unlock until 39, which to me is ridiculous. Yeah, I thought that was going to be a spine shot, but again, I messed it up.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
I really need to get that moose collar. I may just have to take a hit on my consecutive harvest because I feel like I'm getting really off track here. I'm not gonna bother with that coyote.
Someone else, there's someone else down.
What is her health at? 1575.
Killed someone? Got one of them.
If she could show up anytime now, that'd be great. I don't see her at all. Not one bit. We've got the distance there. That is a female oak. Yeah, 50 to 75. I'm gonna give up on this one. Sometimes you just gotta cut your losses, unfortunately. So, where are we at here?
Oh, bite. Knock it down. Oh, she's...
I guess we can pop over here, South Lake. Is that her? I wonder if that's the moose I've been tracking.
Cockle.
Just to piss me off. That always seems to happen to me too. I'll be tracking an animal and I'll be tracking it, don't see it, don't hear it, nothing, finally give up, and then it calls. Usually happens with coyotes too. And now I don't see her. That's not irritating or anything.
I was gonna say there's animal for your time.
How far away from an animal do you start crouching? I'll be honest with you, I don't really have a set distance. It's just when it feels right for me to start crouching. I would say 75 to 100 meters away is when I crouch down. It all depends on how far away the animal is from me, how visible I am, you know, how much cover there is nearby, wind, stuff like that. I'd say usually within 100 meters is always when I start to crouch.
Oh, God.
It's just one of those things that you kind of have to get a feel for. Like I said, it's not really a set distance for me. It's just, I just know when it's time to do it.
Yeah.
You know, I get that feeling, okay, now it's time to crouch down.
Yeah. Alright. Well, we're getting off. Let's do this.
We got something off in the distance there. Looks like a moose. Yep, female moose. Black-tailed deer. Alright guys, give me just 1 second and I will be back with you. Be right back. I'm back for a few minutes at least. And oh no, guys, it's a vicious animal. I'm not sure if I'm equipped to handle this creature. Um, she's come to watch me hunt, apparently. Dagnab, at 4 a.m. here in England, I've got to rank 19 in a week, gone to get a gin. Not tonight. The other night I did. The other night I had a couple gins. But not tonight. Maybe tomorrow night. I do like my gin and tonics. My gin, my tonic, gotta have an olive. Just a light splash of olive brine. Right? Yeah. I probably will wrap this up in a little bit though. It is 11 o'clock and my child will get me up super early. Did we get a... Oh. I'm sorry, Hawk. I wasn't here for you to subscribe. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate that. I appreciate every single one of the subscribes that you guys give me. Honestly, I didn't really think I'd get even this many subscribers on this channel. But I'm really glad that I have. I'm glad that I've got every single one of you guys. You know, and I hope that I can retain you over time, too. Ooh, that is a good-looking buck. A 4. He's so far away. What am I using right now? For ammo. On the tips. Yeah, I know you're scared of me. That's okay. I'm not hunting you. Tanqueray is a little dry for me. I drink New Amsterdam, actually. My grandmother, on the other hand, ooh, God, she loved a dry gin. She'd drink her Beefeater. Oh, I can't do it, man. It's like being beat in the head with a pine tree. I do like the New Amsterdam, though. New Amsterdam with Fever Tree tonic water. Very citrusy and fruity, and you get just a touch of that medicinal that you get from regular gin, but it's just nice and refreshing, light. Yeah, some patches would be nice. Although I've been dealing with these guys long enough to not hold my breath for too long. But alright, let me see if I can't take down this moose. I want to take down this moose before I get off for the night. Because I'm still kind of angry that I haven't been able to down one of you guys. Like, that's really frustrating to me. I got the wind blowing at me, that's good. Wait, how far away am I? Okay, I need to turn off that need zone icon because that is kind of obnoxious. There we go. It just kind of gets in the way. What do you guys think? Should I do another episode of Hunter 101 Live? I like this. I like coming in here and having you guys ask me questions and I answer them for you. I do like the production values of doing an actual pre-recorded Hunter 101, but I do like coming in here and having you guys ask me questions. I think that works out really well, and it's just a little bit more personable for me. Okay, where is this damn moose? If I don't shoot this moose, I'm going to lose my mind. Maybe now that I've got the cat here, I'll have some better luck. You gonna get him for me? My attack kitty. I feel like I should have seen this moose by now. Has it wandered off? Maybe it wandered off. Well, I'm glad you're finding it informative. That was the whole goal of this, was to help teach people about the game, because it seems like I've gotten this huge influx of new subscribers once the console version released. So, you know, I know there's people with a lot of questions because they don't do a very good job teaching you this stuff in the game. So, you know, I'm more than happy to provide that information for people. And I'm not the only guy who does it either. There's a couple guys out there that do it. Zaggy DK, I know, has been starting to do some how-to live streams, so you should definitely check out his channel. Very informative. A great guy. Wonderful guy. You know, Flinter is out there. You know what? I'm gonna kill this deer. I don't care, because I'm just done. If it doesn't run away first. There he is. Is he not going to come in to this? Is he going to be a pain in the butt? It's only a 3. Alright, what am I using for ammo? All in there. Skip it. Anthony. That's your that's your shout out. Just me going Anthony at the camera. Thank you, man. I'm glad that you like the content that I create, and hopefully I can create more that you like. Where is he going? I can get him to come in a little closer. Try and drop him like a bad habit. Hopefully the wind doesn't swap, because I'm out of scent eliminator. And there's a female coming up behind me. Alright, stop moving, you bastard. Stop moving. Oh, man. Come on. He is gonna give me a rash. Girls, go away. I don't even know where he is now. Where's he? There he is. I'll pop him in the damn head if I have to. Dog shit shots tonight. Just terrible. Like I said, I'm not being a very good role model for you guys, am I? See, like I said, my problem is I'm not patient, so I see a shot, I take it. And sometimes that's good. Sometimes I absolutely nail it. Other times, you get the result of pretty much every single shot I've taken tonight. Yeah, maybe the barrel is bent. Maybe I need to sight in my scope a little bit better. It was too low. It was below the eye line, so it's kind of what I was talking about earlier, where if you shoot below the eye line, it's pretty much guaranteed that it's going to be a flesh wound, which makes sense. All right, I give up. Sorry, guys. Let's fast travel here. I think we'll call it there for the night. I had a lot of fun doing this, guys. I really did. It was great to see you guys here in the channel. It was great to answer your questions. And you little so-and-so. I'll definitely do another Hunter 101 live. I'll try and structure it a little bit better and actually have a set explanation that I'll go through of a certain topic. Yeah, I mean, you guys can give me a shout out on Twitter at MTNManGames. If you've got some suggestions of what you would like to see in a Hunter 101 live. But yeah, so thanks for coming out, guys. Thanks for asking your questions, and thank you to the new subscribers, and thank you to all of the existing subscribers that help keep driving me to make this content, because I love doing it. I love helping you guys out, and I love answering your questions and just kind of helping you enjoy the game. Next scheduled stream is going to be on Monday. I don't know what I'll be streaming. It may be Hunter the Hunter. It may be something else. Maybe Shadow of War. I've been playing that a lot lately, and I kind of want to get in a stream on that. So, like I said, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time will be the next scheduled stream. That doesn't mean I won't stream between now and then, but yeah. Like I said, you have good nights and you have bad nights, and tonight was just a bad night for me all around. One or two good shots, but for the most part, all bad shots. So I'll endeavor to be a little bit better at the game next time you guys see me. So, thank you very much, guys. Take care and have a good evening.